It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 on the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nazareth Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Last year, we crowned a champion at this very place in September of 2020 with the Southern 500, and we enjoyed the event so much that we decided to come here twice in 2021. We are here at the Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. It's the return of the 400-miler event here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. This is the South Carolina Education Lottery 400 at the Darlington Raceway in the NOFSRL Cup Series, season number 10, presented by Chick-fil-A. Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 12 in season number 10 of the NOFSRL Cup Series. We are here at the Darlington Raceway on this Saturday afternoon. 59 laps of action here in the South Carolina Education Lottery 400. And it's going to be a very unique race because it's a little bit shorter than what we saw last year in the Southern 500, a little bit shorter than what we've seen in quite some time here for the Cup Series at Darlington, which means that the fuel mileage could become an issue. And that was an issue last week at the Kansas Speedway when we had that event go on. And if we get a caution in the right place, we could see an issue with that here today. Fuel window's probably about 34 to 36 laps. But we could end up with some cautions. That could mess things up a little bit as well. Just going to have to see how it all goes down. I'm all alone today for this race. First Cup race I've done by myself in quite a while. I'm doing this at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday, however, and everyone's either at work or at school right now. My work were closed on Tuesdays, and I just graduated from college, so I don't really have anything to do right now. I actually did try to record this race initially, and it was a complete disaster. That's why I'm doing it at this time. But enough about that. We're here at Darlington for the 12th race of the season, halfway through the regular season once we are done here today. And we see a lot of guys up here in the point standings who have been up here in the point standings for quite some time, including our top two guys in points, Keegan Thompson and Logan Williams. Of course, Thompson, the points leader, 360 points towards the championship for him. Logan Williams, who won last week at Kansas, comes into this race 28 points behind. LJ Semedo, 45 points behind, or should I say 46 points behind in the number 66 machine. Sebastian Kukulon is 60 points behind. The number 77 of Jesse Turner is 66 points behind. Nelson Reeves, 72 points behind. Those six guys in particular have been doing an excellent job so far this season. And then you got guys like Cameron Garlington and Ryan Durrani. Cody Sill shot his way up inside that top 10 after Kansas last week. We really haven't seen much of Cody Sill this season in terms of running up front, but he has done an excellent job. And Eli Bright, the Richmond winner, also currently inside the chase. Matt Dallio and Ben Young currently hold on to the wild card positions, but we're only halfway through the regular season after today's event. Going to be interesting to see how the points look after we're done this event because we really don't know what to expect here today of the Darlington Raceway. We could see a clean race, we could see a caution-free race, or we could see a wreck fest. We just don't know. But I do know that Jordan Lopez starts on the pole position for today's event. Won at Martinsville about a month ago, and looking for his second win of the season. We have yet to see a driver win multiple races yet this season, so it's going to be interesting to see if one of these guys who have won races this season, have won a race this season. I was doing so good. I was doing so smooth, and now I'm messing it all up. We're going to have to see if one of the guys who have won a race this season does win here today at the Darlington Raceway. Two of them starting on the front row with Jordan Lopez and Zachary Fitzwater. Alexander O. Ben Young make up row number 2. Brock Nelson had a great time in qualifying late in the session yesterday. He's to the inside of Ryan Durrani. Then you have Nathan Baird to the inside of Andrew Miller. Nathan Baird won the championship here in season number 8. He clinched it in the Southern 500 back in 2019. And then Nicholas Samadio, the Talladega winner, to the inside of Ben Crouch, who's in his 5th race of the season as an unchartered driver. So he's been doing an excellent job getting into these events here in the Cup Series for NS Blackout Racing. We don't have a co-commentator, so I'm going to go ahead and make a pick for this race. That's kind of a dangerous thing to do, isn't it? But my pick to win, Nathan Baird there, number 54, the only driver in the field who has yet to get a top 10 this season. Watch out for him like I mentioned, won the championship here at Darlington. I don't know how well he did in that race, but he clinched it in season number 8. Has a good starting position there. Velocitar Racing could definitely use a turnaround here, and today could be the opportunity for Nathan Baird in that Bartow Tuck Team Velocitar organization. The Jordan Lopez would love to be the first driver to win multiple races this season. He comes in 2 points off the wild card. Of course, if you get enough points, you make it into the chase on points alone. That's a W. But we'll have to see who does get the W here in the South Carolina Education Lottery 400. Should be a fun one. Pace cars down the pit lane. Let's go racing at the Lady in Black here on Mother's Day weekend in the NOFSRL Cup Series. Lap 1 will be led by Jordan Lopez at the line. A great jump on the start for him. Alexander Rowe going to file in the second. And Fitzwater will avoid getting stuck in that outside lane, and he will remain in third. He may get around Alexander Rowe right here for that second position. And Rowe in the outside wall hard. That is something, like we mentioned yesterday, we're going to see a lot of that here in this race. And when we come back in September as well for the Southern 500, the exit of turn number 2 is one of the most treacherous places on the entire circuit. And Alexander going to fall all the way back to the 5th position. But Lopez continues to lead. Zachary Fitzwater. How about Brock Nelson, the first American driver in the field? Ben Young there in the number 5. Running in the 4th position. Then Nathan Baird in the 5th position with Sam Medeo, Durrani, Kukulon. And then Ben Crouch here to the inside of the 25 machine of Alexander Rowe. Christopher Alphaby up here looking to join the top 10. Been a tough season for Alphaby, as we have seen throughout the season, but great opportunity for Alphaby to possibly have a shot at a race victory here today. And for the race lead, Zachary Fitzwater to the inside of Jordan Lopez. Now, Zachary Fitzwater has yet to receive a top 10 since his Daytona 500 victory all the way back in February. It has been a very rough season, not only for Fitzwater, but for this entire organization at Grattan Racing. But Fitzwater with a great opportunity here today. He won in the Turkey Hill Truck Series here back in August. He could have another opportunity to get another Darlington win for his 21st career Napa fan win if he can pull it off here today. But Lopez going to cross over on him here. We'll have to see if he gets the run to the inside, and it looks like he will. Fitzwater will receive a bonus point towards the championship right there, but Lopez going to take it right back away from the 14. Brock Nelson, Ben Young closing in. Sam Medeo here in 5th. A lot of strong guys up front. Lopez, Fitzwater, Sam Medeo, and Ben Young all have won this season. The only driver inside the top 5 who has yet to go to victory lane this season in the NOFSRL Cup Series is Brock Nelson in the 51. But Brock Nelson, he started off the season very strong. He's fallen down to 28th, but great opportunity for him to possibly get his first career Napa fan. Well, it wouldn't be his first career Napa fan when he won a dual race back in February. But Brock Nelson could have an opportunity his first career Cup Series win here today. Nathan Baird, Ryan Durrani in the battle right here. Durrani with a good opportunity here today as well for his first career win. Of course, he comes in 8th in points, so he would definitely love to back that up with a top 10 run here today at Darlington. Keep that 68 machine in the chase. Kukulon and Alphaby getting shuffled out of line right there. They're going to fall back. Here comes Rutkowski and Ethan Lewis. Midway through the field right there. This field already kind of spreading out. Alexander Rowe, who started in the 3rd position, has fallen deep in the field outside the top 20 at this moment. So we'll have to see how that affects him as this race goes along. But relatively clean race so far. Fitzwater got shuffled out of line. He's fallen back to the 5th position now, as you got Brock Nelson there running in the 2nd position with Ben Young in 3rd, Sam Medeo, and now Fitzwater filing into 5th. Not the number 54 machine here. Nathan Baird in the 6th position. He was able to hold off Ryan Durrani right there. And as the tires wear out, and obviously, I didn't mention it at the top of the show, but here at Darlington, the tire wear is very significant. And as the run goes along, the lap times fall about 3 seconds a lap. Brock Nelson, that doesn't matter to him. He's going to drive right to the inside of Jordan Lopez. It's going to open the door for Ben Young as well. So new race leader here at Darlington. Brock Nelson in the 51 for Angel Racing takes it away from Jordan Lopez. That's going to open the door for Sam Medeo and for Fitzwater, and maybe even for Nathan Baird to get around the 28 machine. That outside lane through turns 1 and 2 is one of the worst places to be, especially on worn tires. There's just simply no grip up there, and you lose about 15 miles per hour on that outside lane compared to the inside through 1 and 2. And you're going to see it right there of Nathan Baird. He got caught on that outside. Fisher G to the inside of him. That's for the 8th position. Here comes Kukulon as well in the 13. So far, a very clean race. Hopefully it stays that way here at the Darlington Raceway. The first attempt of recording this had 5 cautions. I almost uploaded it, but I'm like, you know what? You guys don't deserve that, so we redid it. I'm not going to tell you who won or anything, but I'm just going to say it was not worth it. Brock Nelson is glad I redid that. At least for the time being, as he holds on to the race lead. Ben Young looking for his second win of the season. He won at Homestead back in February. Sam Medeo, Lopez, and Fitzwater, of course, I mentioned they are all looking for their second win of the season, I should say. For Sam Medeo's case, if he wins here today, he will become the all-time winningest driver on Napa Fan with 22 career wins. He tied John Arndt at 21 with that race victory at Talladega 2 weeks ago. And right now, things are looking very strong for Mr. Edge here at Darlington. Thing about Sam Medeo, all but one of his Cup Series race victories have come at tracks 2.5 miles or longer. 2 at Pocono, 2 at Talladega, and of course, the race that gave him his nickname, the Daytona 500 back in season number 2. 1 at Dover as well in season number 3, which is next week's venue. We're very excited about that. I'll be going to the real-life Dover race. How can you not like Dover? Actually, that's a stupid question. Dover is a very unlikable racetrack in a very unlikable state. But hey, it's my home track, so I gotta love it. Brock Nelson pulling away there in the 51 machine as Ben Young had to check up a little bit there. That might open the door for Sam Medeo or Lopez to possibly move up a little bit. Durrani going to get to the inside of Fitzwater, and Fitzwater now going to get shuffled out of line. You can tell the tire wear here is really coming into play. These guys going much slower now than they were at the start of the race. And if this thing stays green, they're going to come in right past halfway most likely. When they know they can make it on fuel, they're going to come down and get some fresh Goodyears, no doubt about it. Ben Young, though, doing a good job holding off Sam Medeo for the time being. Jordan Lopez there in the 4th position, and then Ryan Durrani in 5th now. Durrani's had a solid run here in this one. How about the uncharted guy of Ben Crouch? Another strong run for these uncharted drivers. Ben Crouch, on the other hand, though, has only had 1 top 10 this season in the Cup Series, even though this is his 5th race. But he's looking to surpass Will Parrish in points for the... Oh, and in the wall! Jordan Lopez, I think, may have just blown a tire. And he is really getting a Darlington stripe right there. That was sudden. I don't know if he's going to be able to come back around here because he's still going to be stuck in that outside lane. It looks like he blew a tire, but he is continuing on. But that is going to majorly affect his chances at winning this race. Everybody is still on the lead lap. Nobody has come down the pit lane. We've seen in past years here at Darlington, when drivers hit that outside wall too much, they come down to repair the damage. I would imagine Lopez might have to come down here soon. But if he can stay out there, which it looks like he's going to try to do so, it really didn't affect him on speed too much. He's going to get passed here by Nathan Baird. But Jordan Lopez, that is not at all what he wanted after starting on the pole here in the South Carolina Education Lottery 400. Back to the race lead. Brock Nelson continues to hold on to Ronnie now on Sam Medeo. That's a tough place to make a pass, especially on worn tires. But Durrani's going to try it here on the 48 machine, but Sam Medeo might be able to clear him before they enter turn number 1. If he can do so, then Sam Medeo will remain in that position. But they lost some time there to Ben Young. Now the top 2 have pulled away a little bit, and Brock Nelson and Ben Young. Sam Medeo holding on to 3rd with Durrani, Ben Crouch, Fitzwater, and Sebastian Kukulon. Kukulon coming into this race 4th in points. Durrani's going to try again on Sam Medeo. And this time around, it looks like he's going to clear the 48 machine. Sam Medeo, though, will be able to clear the 76, so more than likely he's not going to fall back too much, but Durrani now up to the 3rd position. Durrani has been one of the most consistent drivers throughout his career here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. Made the chase last year in his rookie campaign, and so far is 8th in the points coming into this season, but he's never gone the victory lane in the Cup Series. One of these drivers who I think is going to go to victory lane very soon, it could be today. There goes Ben Crouch on the inside of San Mateo. I think San Mateo definitely losing some ground here to these guys. He used up his stuff right there, trying to hold those guys behind him off. Here comes Kukulon. Nathan Baird's back in line. Same with the 11 machine of Ethan Lewis inside the top 10. Ethan Lewis hasn't had the best of seasons, 31st in points coming into this race, but a good opportunity for him to possibly get his first ever win in the Cup Series. They're going to get around Fitzwater right there. And some new faces moving their way through the field. We got Brett Sierra, Ethan Lewis's teammate right there, just outside the top 10. Ace Garcia's moving his way up here, the Atlanta winner. Atlanta's another place where tire wear is very significant. Of course, there we pack race. And how about yesterday's winner, Julio Caesar in the number 80 machine, looking to sweep the weekend, currently in the 14th position. We get a caution in this race. He could have a shot to possibly go in the victory lane. Nathan Baird going to get passed by Jordan Lopez, and Lopez seems to be okay after that massive shot to the outside wall not too long ago. We're going to have to see how that affects him later on in the race, because more than likely when they come down the pit lane, he's going to be on that pit lane for an extended period of time to repair that damage. Only 3 different leaders so far in this race. We had 7 leaders in yesterday's 30-lap Turkey Hill race, but right now only 3 different leaders. Jordan Lopez led the first 4 laps, and then Fitzwater led 1 lap. Lopez took the lead back away from him, and then Brock Nelson has led ever since for about, I believe, at least 10 laps here at the Darlington Raceway. Of course, whenever we come to a place like this, it's a difficult pit lane to get down. Of course, this is an original version track, so this version of the track came with the game. You may notice the red walls. Of course, Trey Wright did a fabulous job putting all that together for us to make it look a little bit more modern. Of course, obviously, there are no safer barriers here, because if there were safer barriers on this track, that turn 2 wall would be even worse than it is. But you're going to see Alonso may slap it right here off the outside. He keeps it off the wall right there. Been a pretty clean race so far. Initially, when I did the first rendition of this race, we had it at 107% strength. I toned it down to 105, and it has made all the difference. Comes Kukulon trying to get on Ben Crouch. Ben Crouch all the way up to 4th now. They're going to get her on Ethan Lewis right here. And when the tire wear is where it is right now, you can tell that outside lane simply does not work. All those guys getting around the 11 of Ethan Lewis right there. Fisher G coming in line here as well on Nathan Baird. And very soon, these guys are going to be coming down the pit lane for their first, and if they get it under the green flag, will be their only stop of the race. So hopefully we stay green until then. Hopefully we stay green throughout the cycle, as Ben Crouch going to get shuffled out of line there in the 76. He's going to lose at least 3 positions. Maybe 4, as Fitzwater's coming here in the 14 machine. But you can tell these guys are crawling around this place. And all they got to do is just get past halfway, and they're good to go to come down the pit lane for some fresh tires. Durrani, on the other hand, has closed in on Ben Young. This is for the 2nd position. And that 68 machine has done an excellent job in this race, moving his way through the field. Kukulon as well. Another guy comes in top 10 in points, also doing a great job. And San Mateo. For San Mateo, he's one of these guys who's in the wildcard battle, comes in 27th in points. He's not really had a good season outside of his Talladega win. Of course, obviously, we all know what happened to him at Martinsville. If he had actually not run into Patrick Smith at Martinsville, he would have already won twice this season. But currently, he resides in the 5th position. Lopez, who won that Martinsville race, currently is 6th. And Ben Crouch fell back there to the 7th position. Fitzwater's in 8th, Nathan Baird, and then Fisher G. Go through the field. Tristan Allen moving his way up a little bit right there with Altheby. That's 15th and 16th. I think anyone who's top 20 right now still has a decent shot at winning this race, including Matt Dalio here in the 75, who currently holds on to that first wild card. You got Joe Rakowski there looking for his first career win. Jesse Turner comes into this race 5th in points. Having a solid run here. It was interesting what happened at Kansas. He actually finished top 10 last week, but he didn't really run top 10 a majority of that race, even though he started on the pole. So definitely rebounded after that scuffle there when all those guys were coming down the pit lane near the end of the race, but he was able to stay out and salvage some positions. Ryan Durrani has gotten around Ben Young for the 2nd position, and now Durrani has his eyes set on the 51. If Durrani, if I'm Durrani, I'm going to undercut. That's probably the best thing to do for Durrani, because I don't think Durrani's going to be able to get around Brock Nelson before the cycle begins here. But if Durrani can undercut, get those fresh tires, and get that advantage on the racetrack ahead of that 51 machine, That's going to definitely come in handy for Durrani to possibly overtake Brock Nelson. But Brock Nelson has been the dominant guy of this race so far. And next time by, we will officially be halfway through this South Carolina Education Lottery 400. And that's when we're going to see these guys start to dart down the pit lane because they know they can make it to the end. At this point, they can make it to the end. The window is open now, but they're staying out. Nobody taking the undercut at the moment, so we'll just have to see how it all goes down. But everybody's still on the lead lap. I'm actually incorrect about that. Shane Lake and Samet Ozkin have had issues in this event. Not entirely sure what occurred between those two drivers. That's a tough break for a defending champion who actually dominated this race last year. Dominated the Southern 500 last year, I should say. Brock Nelson is going to begin the cycle right past halfway here. He is the only guy coming down. He is really going to try to stretch it on these guys. It's going to make it hard for anyone to beat Brock Nelson if this cycle stays green. Which we have been green this entire race so far. Ryan Durrani holding on to the race lead now. He's going to lead a lap right there. Get a bonus point towards the championship. Would imagine that he is going to come down right here, and he will. Ben Young, Kukulon, Samadillo, Lopez. Some guy's going to stay out here. Try to stretch it, hope for a caution to come out so they can jump these guys on the racetrack. That's the only benefit you have in staying out. And with it being the difficult pit lane that it is to get down, definitely these guys don't want to take too much of a risk. Fisher G going to lead a lap now. As Brock Nelson, the first guy who came down the pit lane, is finally going to come off here. And I would imagine that he is going to really have an advantage on the rest of the field because he came down. He's the only one. There's nobody who came down with him. And as long as this stays green, those fresh tires are really going to come in handy for him. Rest of the field coming down right here. Fisher G, Julio Caesar, yesterday's winner. Nathan Baird, Ace Garcia. A very busy pit lane here at the Darlington Raceway. Ryan Durrani led them down the pit lane, and he will lead them off the pit lane of those guys. But there is your 51 of Brock Nelson, who is going to drive way past all of them. And I mean way past all of them. That is one lap. That's about a 3-second difference per lap. And that one lap is going to make all the difference for Brock Nelson. The only guy to come down. That was a very interesting move that he was the only one who came down. No one else came down with him there. But Brock Nelson definitely in position now to win this race as the yellow flies. And in the corner, Thompson and Alonso. Now this should cycle through. Oh, we got more contact. Cameron Garlington also got spun around. So that's the points leader who got caught up in this accident, thankfully. And this is exactly what happened in Matt's race, in the Body Armor Cup Series race that they had here back at the end of March. Everyone had come down the pit lane. Everyone's going to cycle through, but that 3.86 second lead that Brock Nelson had is gone. The only difference here is he's going to have he's going to have a couple lap cars. His brother, Brandon Nelson, caught a lap down. Same with Thomas Troxel. That's going to open the door, however, for all these guys behind to have a shot at this race victory. Now, these guys, they don't need to come down the pit lane. And they're not going to. Trust me, I did that first race. I'm going to tell you what happened in this first recording. We had a caution like lap 22. They came down the pit lane. And we had a couple more cautions there at the end of the race, and none of the leaders came down the pit lane under those cautions. They couldn't make it on fuel. We obviously saw Fieldman was about 31, 32 laps here. We have a restart with about 3 laps to go, and all the leaders come down the pit lane. So yeah, I couldn't upload that. We will not have that problem in this race, thankfully, but looks like Alonso, Garlington, they got bigger problems. Such a tough break for those guys. And Alonso's one of those guys who has won a race this season, and he had a solid run at Kansas, moved up 5 positions in the points, but he's going to fall back some more. Both Alonso and Garlington are going to be out of this race. And Keegan Thompson in the 82, and this was probably transitioning off the pit lane. It does become an issue sometimes with these guys. So Brandon Nelson going to get caught a lap down, same with Thomas Trox. They would have been caught a lap down regardless. But thankfully, everyone does cycle through as everyone had come down the pit lane, so nobody really going to get screwed out of this one right here, which is good. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring up the first caution, and hopefully be the only caution of the day here in the South Carolina Education Lottery 400 at the Darlington Raceway. Mason Brown blew an engine, or actually blew a header, I should say, and this is what causes this accident to unfold, because you got Gatlin Downey, who actually won here back in September, and then you got the 39 here of Hergelarb Alonso. Man, you know, if he's not blowing an engine, it's someone else blowing an engine that takes him out of the race. And he's done so in, like, all 3 schemes at this point, too. But Downey's actually the one, I think, who gets... Downey slows down, but Alonso slows down. It's Keegan Thompson, our points leader, who gets right in the 39 machine, and Brown's trying to come down the pit lane. Like I said, it's a very difficult pit lane to come down, so if that didn't happen, we never would have had this caution. Such a tough break there. And then I forget... I don't know how Darlington gets caught up here. We'll see. I think he might have gotten sideswiped here. Let's see. Go a little bit further ahead. He may have actually just lost it, trying to transition back up. Oh, no. He tried to transition it back up, and Keegan Thompson was still slow. And then Alonso comes in, and then the rest is history right there. We had a flip in this race. That's something I don't think we had in the original recording. I don't think I had a flip in the original recording, even though we had 5 cautions. But a tough break there for Cameron Darlington, Hergelarb Alonso, and Keegan Thompson as well, and Mason Brown. Of course, really nothing he could do about that in the 83 machine, but all 3 of those guys are going to be out of the race. Thompson will still be able to continue, but Darlington and Alonso, they're going to be out of the race after that one. And we're going to replay this in real time. And Mason Brown just goes kaboom. Not entirely sure what they did on that pit stop, but they kind of just jam up, and Thompson's the one. Thompson's really the cause of this one, because he did not slow down in time. And then you see the number 34 is going to come in here and right into Thompson. And then Alonso right into him. Alonso's like, you know what? I'm done. And you're going to come with me, Cameron. Tough break for those guys involved, but thankfully that caution happened after the cycle was complete, so nobody really going to get caught a lap down, except guys who would have already gotten caught a lap down anyway, like Brandon Nelson and Thomas Troxel. They will be in between Brock Nelson and second place Ryan Ronnie, so it's going to be very interesting on the restart halfway through the South Carolina Education Lottery 400 here at Darlington. Back here at the Darlington Raceway after our first caution between Hergelarb Alonso, Keegan Thompson, and then eventually Cameron Darlington. Keegan Thompson still on the lead lap in the 82 machine. Darlington and Alonso both out of the race. They join Mason Brown, who is, I believe, he's also out of the race. And like I mentioned, we record these accidents after we do the race. So, I'm not entirely sure what transpired between those guys. Mason Brown could have been caught up in that as well. Shane Lake and Sam Oskin with separate issues before the caution. They're also in the garage. 37 guys on the racetrack, 35 on the lead lap. The 2 guys who were a lap down are right behind our leader. And one of those guys is our leader's brother, Brandon Nelson. But Brock Nelson, your race leader. Thomas Troxel, also a lap car. Then Durrani is second. Ben Young, Sebastian Kukulon, Nicholas Samedillo, Ethan Lewis, Ben Crouch, Owen Miles, Christopher Alphaby, and Matt Dallio, the top 10. Coming to the restart, lap 38 of 59 here at Darlington. Will Brandon go to the inside of Brock here? That's the big question. Not going to happen right here on the initial start. They usually stay single file on the initial start. But, I don't know. Will Brandon give it easy to Brock? They're not on the same team, so we're just going to have to see how it all goes down. Of course, now they have fresh tires, so that's definitely going to help him out. Troxel going to get to the inside of Brandon Nelson. And these guys hoping to get around Brock Nelson and then for a quick caution to happen. So we're going to have to see how that all goes down. Durrani now looking to the inside, but he's not going to have a run on Brandon Nelson there. But Ben Young's going to get shuffled out of line. There's Kukulon, Samedillo, and everybody going to get around the 5 machine of Ben Young. Owen Miles also getting shuffled out of line right there. He's going to fall back in the 22 machine. Brock Nelson continues to hold on, but he's got to be careful with Thomas Troxel and Brandon Nelson behind him. These guys, they're hungry. It's not like they have any issues. They just got caught a lap down. Brandon Nelson going to go back to the inside of Thomas Troxel. And this is getting easier and easier for Brock Nelson to hold on to this one. Durrani, look at that closing rate on the 53 machine. And Durrani now to the inside. He's going to try to get one of these lap cars here. San Mateo going to try another position here on Kukulon. He may be able to get it here through turns 3 and 4. Watch out for San Mateo. This is a guy you don't want to have running up front near the end of a race. We call him Mr. Edge for a reason. Brandon Nelson, though, I think he's helping his brother out right here, but he's going to try to get his lap back. And he's got the quarter panel. Oh, boy. Brock's gonna tap. He almost tapped the outside wall. Here comes Durrani now. And Troxel's still in the mix here as well. Durrani not gonna be able to get to the inside of Brock, however, as Nelson holds out of the race lead. So Brandon able to get around his brother without essentially costing him the race lead. And he's gonna go back to the inside. And Troxel almost got to the inside of Durrani, but Durrani had a huge run on Brandon. And now the top two have cleared the lap cars. Kukulon trying to move past Brandon Nelson. Same with San Mateo and Ben Crouch in the 76. Another Uncharted driver. I'm telling you, these Uncharted guys, they have been... And look at this. Yesterday's winner, Julio Cesar's also inside the top 10. Both of the Uncharted drivers inside the top 10. Here comes Alphabet to the inside of Ben Crouch. And Julio Cesar's now going to be the highest Uncharted driver in the field. It's definitely a really interesting race brewing up front as Durrani got shoved out of line again. And now Kukulon and San Mateo are going to get around him. So Brock Nelson benefited by the lap machines of Troxel and Brandon Nelson. And you got to think, too, when we get later on in this run, and we're almost through with this race, the tire wear is going to come into play significantly. Thomas Troxel wants his lap back. But he's not going to get to the inside of Brandon Nelson right there. Kukulon now second. San Mateo now third. Durrani has fallen back to the 4th position. And Christopher Alphabet rounds out the top 5. Great run for Alphabet here at Darlington. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Alphabet won the Body Armor Cup Series race here back in March. So he knows how to get it done here in the Lady in Black. Kukulon is coming fast. Third in, or should I say 4th in points coming into this race. 3rd in points coming in was Sameto. But a win here at a Kukulon, that could definitely give him a very good opportunity at closing up to possibly even 2nd. Because, see here, Logan Williams hasn't really, we haven't seen much of Logan Williams. He's kind of mired back there in 23rd right now. So we haven't seen much of him in this race. And of course, Keegan Thompson got caught up in that accident, so that's affected him. And there we go for the race lead. Thomas Troxel got around to the inside of Brock Nelson, and Kukulon's going to take it away, but here comes San Mateo. San Mateo has been right on the back bumper of this 13 machine this whole time, essentially. And now you get Alphabet up to 4th. He got, I think it was Durrani out of the way. Durrani's now slipping up. San Mateo, will he hold the inside? He will not. He's going to be generous and give that 51 the position. Brett Serra now moving up in the 12. And here comes Matt Delia to the inside of Julio Cesar as well. But Kukulon has pulled out to a significant lead. The 2 lap cars have cleared the leaders now. So we're going to have to see if Kukulon has a shot at getting around them. But Brock Nelson trying to hold off Nicholas San Mateo for the time being. He's doing so. But Sebastian Kukulon is driving away from the rest of this field. It's been quite a while since Kukulon's gone to victory lane at all on Napa fans, since I believe the Crystal Night race at Bristol in 2019. Quite a long time ago, and that was so far his only career win in the Cup Series. Titan Fury hasn't even won a race since that Bristol race back in 2018. So it's been 2019, excuse me. So it's been a long time since Titan Fury's gone to victory lane. Igor Barreto's team, they've been solid this season. Obviously, you see Kukulon there coming in, 4th in points. This win would definitely help solidify his opportunity in making the chase. And just like what we saw last week with Logan Williams winning at Kansas, we haven't seen many of these guys who have been consistent this season go to victory lane. Well, now we're definitely starting to see it, especially if Kukulon can hold on. Here we go for 2nd. San Mateo on Brock Nelson. He will get it here. They will be side by side entering turn number 1, and San Mateo is going to drive right by that 51. That's a tough break for Nelson because he was dominating this race, and now he's going to fall all the way back to around the 8th position. So San Mateo now in 2nd. But he's got a lot of ground to make up, especially if Alphabet gets to the inside of him here. This is going to be a tight battle. It looks like the 6th machine will take it away. So San Benito used up his stuff right there, but he will stay in the 3rd position. Julio Caesar's moved his way back up to the field. He's to the inside of Fisher G. Matt Delio moving up as well in the 75. Got a couple of long-time veterans in the mix here for this win, but that 13 is almost 2 seconds ahead now. What a race for Sebastian Kukulon. Really didn't see much of him earlier on in this event, but he has slowly and methodically worked his way through the field. The big question is, will these two guys, will Troxel and Brandon Nelson, who are on the tail end of the lead lap right now, will they affect our race leaders? Julio Caesar to the inside of Nicholas San Benito. And San Benito's tires, I believe, are starting to wear out quite a bit right there. Dalio now up to 4th. He's moved up a lot. Same with Brett Sear in the 12, and now Trey Smith moving up through the field. It's going to be interesting to see who gets this race victory. Here goes Caesar to the inside of Alphabet. That is for 2nd. All that battling for 2nd is going to allow Kukulon to continue to pull away here, and they're running out of time. There's only 7 laps to go in this race. And it's a 2-second lead for Sebastian Kukulon here at Darlington. This is going to be a close one. That's all I know. So the 18 and the 53 still ahead of Kukulon here. They might be at the opportunity. They may actually be helping out Kukulon. That's what I meant to say. My mom just texted me. She's at the store right now, and I'm trying to manage that while recording a race. I'm not good at multitasking. But they actually might be benefiting Kukulon right now because getting a bit of a pull off of these guys, and they're not trying to battle with each other either. So Dalio now up to 3rd, and Julio Caesar's pulled away. He's looking to go back-to-back and sweep the weekend. I don't know if we've ever had anyone sweep the weekend. It's a very difficult thing to do because these Turkey Hill Hot Seat guys, they get their hot seat rewarded from the prior race, and for the Turkey Hill Hot Seat this weekend, it was actually from Talladega 2 weeks ago. Caesar managed to win yesterday, and now he's trying to close in on Kukulon, but I just don't think he's going to have enough time. We're at the point of no return as well, so if we get another caution, the race is going to end. These guys are good to go on fuel, though. They came in right past halfway. But it's going to be interesting to see how it all goes down in these final few laps. But I don't see it now that the tire wear has essentially becomes as significant as it has. I really don't see Kukulon losing this race. But Caesar did close in a little bit right there. San Benito runs in the 5th position. Brock Nelson has fallen all the way back to 10th. Great race for Angel Racing, though, as a whole. Alphabee's had a good run. Same with the 51 machine. Durrani in the 68 has really fallen off. He was one of those guys who was up front earlier on, and he has essentially lost all his momentum in this one. He's fallen all the way back to 24th. A tough break there for Durrani. Uh-oh. Caesar's closing. Yeah, I was saying that maybe Brandon Nelson and Thomas Troxel had an advantage, but on Kukulon, but they might not anymore. Oh, this is definitely going to get interesting. Kukulon's checking up here. They're holding them up now. And Caesar might be closing in on this number 13 machine. But I just don't know if he's going to have enough time. It's 2 laps to go for Sebastian Kukulon here at Darlington. And the gap that time stayed the same, so Kukulon, all he's got to do essentially at this point is just manage his speed, just not get caught up in a wreck. Just be careful with that 18 machine. Hey, when we came here to Darlington in real life after their break, and Jimmy Johnson was leading that stage, and he got into the lap car right at the end of the stage. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Kukulon, but you just got to be careful. White flag in the air here in the South Carolina Education Lottery 400 for Sebastian Kukulon, looking for a 2nd career Cup Series race victory here today. Caesar closed in a little bit more, but I just don't think he's going to have enough time. And how about Time Fury Motorsports? They have yet to go to victory lane. They have not gone to victory lane since 2019. Well, it looks like they're going to do it here today at the Darlington Raceway. Our 12th different winner in 12 races so far this season. Well, this is one of those guys who's going to be a threat for the championship. Sebastian Kukulon wins the South Carolina Education Lottery 400 here at Darlington. Julio Caesar finishes 3rd. Matt Dalio in 3rd. Julio Caesar finishes 2nd, excuse me. Matt Dalio in 3rd. Brett Sear and Nicholas San Benito, the top 5. That was a pleasant, clean race. And Kukulon is the one who will receive the trophy at the end of the day. That race was much better than the first one. Like I explained what happened in the first recording of this race, and this was much better. This is how it should be. Sebastian Kukulon wins for the first time since season number 8. Been a while for him, but he's going to break a long losing streak. Julio Cesar almost swept the weekend. If this was the Southern 500, we had 74 laps in this race instead of the 59 we had today. Cesar probably would have won this race. But not enough time for him there. Matt Dalio in third there. That's going to put Dalio inside the top 10 of points. No doubt about it. And Brett Sierra actually might also do the same thing because Sierra came in 11th in points and he finished in 4th. Sam Medeo going to jump through the points a little bit there as well with that 5th place finish. But other guys who didn't have the best of runs, our points leader Keegan Thompson and even Logan Williams, who's second in points. Neither of those guys had solid runs in this race, so that's going to affect them. On the flip side, LJ Semedo finished 11th. Pretty good run for him, and of course, Kukulon won the race. Jesse Turner came in 5th in the points. He was 20th, so kind of all over the place. We saw what happened with Garlington and Alonso earlier on. Mason Brown had a header go bad. Same with Sam Adoskin, and Shane Lake had a valve issue. So mechanical issues on 3 cars in this race, and obviously for Garlington and Alonso, we saw what happened between those guys. And obviously Troxel and Nelson, they both officially finished on the lead lap as they both got around the leaders during that last green flag run. But either way, nice clean race here for Mother's Day weekend. We need a nice clean race for Mom. And hey, if your mom's still around, thank her for being a good mom. Hopefully she's a good mom. If she's a good mom, she deserves a hug from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next weekend, like I mentioned earlier on, we head to Dover, the first state. The state I graduated from, the state I got my bachelor's degree from, and I'll be there in real life for both the Xfinity race and the Cup race, but hope you guys join us for the Turkey Hill and NOFSRL Cup Series races next weekend. The Wawa 200, Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, and then noon Eastern time. Next Saturday, it's the Mr. Goodbar 400. And if you remember last year's race, you know it's a crazy place to go to, and I have a feeling we may finally see our first 2-time winner next weekend. But either way, we're looking forward to it. Heading down to Delaware, should say heading up to Delaware, which is the only thing that Delaware is really known for at this point. That and the president came from there, so take what you want with that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to the Sebastian Kukulon, and here are the points for the NOFSRL Cup Series after 12 races. We're halfway through the regular season. Let's see how these points go down. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. We'll see you guys next week from Dover. I will see you guys later.